Good afternoon, Space Delta 4. This is Lieutenant Colonel McCandless, and I have with me Chief Frazier. And today we're going to be talking about another Space Delta 4 value, and that is the importance of our airmen and guardians and their families as part of our team. You all are really the greatest asset we have, and so we want to focus on that as one of our deltas today. And so we'll start off with talking about what does it mean. And so to me, the important thing to share with everybody is that all airmen and guardians that are part of Space Delta 4 are important to our mission, but also, and something that is hard to get people to understand, is that people's families are important to us also. And so we really want you to know that, airmen, guardians, we focus on you, but we also care about your families. And I know there are airmen and guardians out there that say, hey, wait, I'm single, I don't have a family, I don't have a wife and kids. But to you, we want to say, we care about your family back home. We care about your family that's local, friends. If you have a cat or a dog or a pet, we really consider all of those part of our team and part of our bigger Space Delta 4 family. So never be afraid to share information or what's going on with you and your family. And we use the term family really as your whole support system. So Chief, over to you. Just what does it mean to you that our airmen and guardians are our number one asset?
So when I think of this topic, I think about the fact that we recruit airmen and guardians and we retain families. And it's important that we do that and that we share our experiences with our family. Maybe it's a hometown news release when you get to your first duty station and all the people back at home who you left behind, if you're single, are getting to see the awesome things that you're doing. Or if it's just a matter of maybe people inviting families to commanders' calls so that way everyone is in tune and gets the same message.
Yeah, it's definitely important that you find ways to involve your family and friends and be part of our team. One of the things I also wanted to talk about was what are ways that we in Space Delta 4 and across the Space Force really trying to get families more involved and be able to show that. And so some of the examples I've seen in my time have been things like where families are invited to promotion ceremonies, obviously, and to celebrate and share all of the great moments that are happening. It's one of the things with COVID that's been a struggle, is not being able to have as many family and friends around us while we're celebrating. Maybe it's a promotion or an award or some kind of ceremony like that, a graduation from some kind of undergraduate space training or some significant event in your career. And so those are awesome ways to get family and friends involved. But also things like, as we think of just this medium here, we're using Facebook to be able to share stories about our airmen and guardians in the Delta and all the great stuff that's happening. So please share that with your family and have them be involved with that also. Chief, what are some ways that you've seen across the Delta and really Space Force to try to highlight this topic?
So a couple of things that I've seen are, number one, when we went to Cavalier for our visit, everyone came out and it didn't feel like it was mandatory fun, like it was forced. Like we went to a park and ate and the families were there and they were pushing their kids on their swings, and it was just an amazing environment to be in. Some other things I've seen is commanders taking the time to write a letter to the spouse or the parents of an airman or a guardian to let them know how appreciative they are that their loved one has decided to serve their country. So I've seen some really significant ways that make people feel part of the team.
Yeah, I know for me, one of the greatest things I got to do as a squadron commander and as a leader was to be able to meet the families of some of our, at the time, airmen, and now we get to meet people that are now guardians. And so getting to meet parents that are excited to share their son or daughter with us as a military member. And I would like to, every once in a while, if I had the opportunity, I would pull the parents aside and give them one of our squadron coins. And it was awesome to see. I would not do that publicly. I would just do that off to the side, just to thank them one-on-one, and not try to make that a big public thing. And what's interesting is to have people later on say, "Hey, sir, that was a big deal to my parents, and they really said thank you." And that was not about me. That was just trying to say thank you to the family, because your families are all part of our team. And so we fully recognize and honor that. And so we want to continue to encourage you to share your family stories with us. and also let us know if there's something we can do to help connect families. We want to hear from you. Chief, any thoughts on that?
I think that this is one of the better, not saying that any of them are less important than the others, but I think that this is one of the better things that we get to talk about, that we really don't take the time, especially during COVID, to thank people enough. I know back when COVID first started, commanders had to make some tough decisions about whether or not people could take leave and the exception to policies that came along with that. But we also made sure that we had a discussion in the front office about we are not in the business of breaking up families, right? It's our responsibility to make sure that we are taking every aspect into consideration, so that way husbands and wives who really miss their loved ones back home got the opportunity to go do that, and the military member, depending on the severity or the criticality of their crew position, were able to do that as much as possible. So again, just know that we don't make decisions in a vacuum up here on the command team. We really try to, when we say we care about you and your family, we mean that, and we'll do whatever we can within reason.
Yep, and that reminds me of we had a single airman that had something happened with their grandparents, and so we wanted to help support that person also. So we really are talking about your extended family, and because what we really need is for you to be able to do the mission. And if you're distracted by something happening back home or with your family here locally, or just a friend or a significant other, those kind of things, we consider that all part of the family. We want you to be the best that you can possibly be. So thanks for joining us today on this topic, and we look forward to connecting with you. Please share any comments or thoughts you have on the Facebook page, and we hope you have a great day.